Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So we are going to continue talking about From. Season 2 is getting very interesting. And before I just go into the whole thing, I'm going to say this. Elgin is the key of getting out of there. I feel he is. Because there's something about him. He had a dream of that place. When he asked about the water and all that kind of stuff. I just think Elgin is the key to finding out what's going on with that place or getting out. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get right on into it. Season 2, Episode 2, The Kindness of Strangers. Here's what's going on. The survivors of the bus crash try to cope with the horrors of the town and the monsters that come out at night. And that can seem scary. You just getting into a new town. You don't know what's going on. You got these people that's living there and they're scared. And you're hearing all this racket outside. Of course, you're going to be scared. That's why those people that's new there need to listen to the veterans of the town. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, it's always one a-hole, and I can't stand that guy. He gets on my nerves. But whatever, let's continue. Jim is trapped under a collapsed house with Tom. Tom is also killed by the monsters. And so with that other guy named Briggs. Jim manages to stay alive and silent until dawn. Tabitha and Victor hide in a truck with supplies that Victor has stored. Okay. Now remember, Victor has been there a very long time. After Boyd escaped from the well, he met an old man who had been in prison for a long time, and he is infected with some kind of skin worms. The old man told him how to get back to town through the tree portal. Now here's the thing about this man and Boyd. Who put that man there? Okay? Who is that man? Who is the old man? What are these skin worms? I mean, what is their purpose of being inside the body? Hopefully we'll see more of that. What are those skin worms? What are they for? What else? How did he know about Boyd's wife? And there's so many questions about that moment that it still has not been answered. But we're going to continue. Okay. So they are joined by Boyd, who have a talisman which make the truck safe. So now Boyd, he runs through the forest. He basically now connected with Tabitha and Victor. He has a talisman, and that makes the truck safe. Now here comes Elgin. Elgin joined them while running away from the monsters. Boyd is also infected with skin worms and tries to hide it from the others, but I think Victor peeped it. Victor knows what's going on. Donna, Kenny, and Christy try to calm the newcomers at the diner. Christy's fiance is angry and suspicious of her disappearance. A brash guy tries to get outside but is knocked out by Donna, which I'm so glad she did that, because you hear what's going on outside and you're still trying to get out there. Sit down and have several damn seats at this point. Okay? Have several seats. I was so surprised that Christy and her fiance, are reunited. What are the odds, right? What are the odds? But I'm going to say this. Keep your eye on Elgin. Keep your eye on Elgin, because I think he's the key to something. I'm not really sure what, but Elgin is the key to something. Keep your eye on Elgin. Okay. So let's talk about episode 3. Now, here's the thing. The ending of episode 3, my husband called it. Okay? My husband called it, and we'll get to that in a second. So episode 3 opens up with Boyd and his son having a conversation. And I'm going to say this, Boyd needs to be very honest about what's going on, because he's hiding a lot of information that went on in the forest. He's hiding so much. He's not being 100% honest about nothing. But I love the fact that Boyd and his son had a conversation, and they're trying to really be, you know, father and son again. I'm really loving that their relationship is, you know, getting back. But Ellis, the son, he's not convinced. He knows something went on out there, and he knows his father is hiding something. Okay? But anyway, Ellis started telling him about Fatima and how she's been reacting, acting to everything, and Boyd is giving him some fatherly advice. Okay, he's giving him some fatherly advice. Which is kind of cool, which is kind of cool. So what I thought was cool was when Boyd said, hey, that wiring, that's not you. It's time for a ring. So I guess we're going to get a marriage. We're going to get a marriage on the show. But is Fatima really ready for marriage? I know she loves Ellis and she wants to be with him, but it just seems like her whole personality now is like her whole mental way of thinking now is a little bit changed. And I guess it's because of the time that she's been there. That place is like, it can really weigh on you mentally if you let it. If you let it. So, yeah. Christy and Maury, they had a confrontation like in the previous episode when Maury expressed her disbelief at the fact that Christy had abandoned her family, and Maury came to a town, to live in a town with strangers, which was only like a couple of hours from home. But Christy, Maury's going to understand that you can't get out of there. So even though you are a couple of hours away from home, you cannot leave that place. And she's going to find out really soon. She's going to find out really soon. So Ellis and Kenny, they are out in the woods, and they see a girl. She has like a metal pole through her head. That's what's keeping her alive. And she's talking about what happened with her and her boyfriend when he was in the bar, and the boyfriend opened the door for those things, and what it did, it made her watch while it killed him. So Kenny ran back to get Christy. They get there. Okay, they get there, and Christy is talking to the young lady. Now, at this time, Boyd is over there by his wife's grave, and he's talking to his wife. But he hears a scream, and he runs over to where Christy and Kenny and Ellis are with the girl. So he's like, what's going on? So they told him what happened. The only way to get that girl is going to eventually pass away, because that stickers were keeping her alive. So he says to them, well, you know what? You guys go, because you don't want to see this. I think what Boyd was going to do, if they all would have left, I think Boyd would have probably took the thing out. Before he would have done that, he probably would have cut her open, like a little cut, and transfer the skin worms to her, and then take out that pole. That's what I think. That's what I think was going to happen. But it didn't get to that point, because they all stayed there while it went on. So as soon as Boyd took that sting out of her head, that was it. It was a wrap for her. And the young lady that had the pole on her head, her name is Kelly, and her boyfriend name is Brian. I gotta keep up with all these names. Now, Victor, he returns to town and he goes to the country house after his journey, you know, and he is upset because his room is in horrible shape and he's looking for something. And a lady comes in and she's, you know, he asks who was in his room, and she said, Jade, and, you know, Jade was in there with the little boy. So he goes to find Jade, okay, and he goes to find Jade at his house, and he takes back his violin, right? Because that's his stuff. You don't touch Victor's things. Jade apologizes for his actions and tells Victor why he did it. So, like, for a moment, it seems like Victor, you know, was going to reveal something about the photograph of the man holding the diary, you know, the man holding the diary behind, which looked like a young Victor could be seen. But Victor just decides to just not say nothing and just keep it moving. Victor's not going to talk to just everybody, okay? Victor is not going to talk to just anybody, and he got to understand that. But I do think that if there's a way to get out of there, Elgin, and I'm going to say Jade, along with Jim, is going to figure it out. I believe so. I believe so. Now let's talk about Tabitha for a second, because something strange has happened to her. Now, you know, she was digging in that house, right? She was digging in the house and she got to the bottom. She finds Victor. So they go under this journey under the town, and these things are sleeping there. So when they get to this little, like, these bricks or whatever, it's like in a shape, and it falls over. So now that she's back, she's starting to see these two little girls, these two little dead girls. But only she can see them. Okay? She saw them when she was at that shed looking through clothes with her daughter. And she saw them again when she was on the porch with her son. And he was building the same thing that she saw in the tunnels. And when she looked up, she saw the dead girls again. So what's going on with her? What is actually happening to her? So she goes in the house, but something is not right. Something is actually happening to her. Why is she seeing these two girls? So I just wanted to point that out. So if you guys know, let me know in the comment section. Something is going on. So let's get to the end. Sarah Myers. Now, I was wondering when she was going to show up, because I was like, okay, what's going on with Sarah? Where's Sarah? And my husband said when Kenny was in that house at the church, he heard that noise. He said, I bet you that's Sarah. And I said, but I don't know, because we didn't get not a sight of Sarah yet until this point. So Kenny was at the abandoned church to look through Father Cattry's belongings. Now, as Kenny goes through the place, he notices the underground chamber that had been turned into a full-fledged room by the late father, where he kept Sarah Myers captive. Kenny enters the chamber to investigate more, and surely enough, he sees Sarah there, who recognizes him and calls out his name. I was like, holy crap, it is Sarah. Or is it? Is it Sarah? It looks like Sarah, but is it really her? It recognizes Kenny, but is it really her? Or is it one of those things that lives in the dark? But I think it's her. I think it's her. As for this whole season right now, it's interesting, but I just wish they answer more questions. Stop leaving little loose things around, unless they have it to where that later on in the season it all get tied in. But But I think the lake means something. Elgin is a key. Jade is a key. And Jim is a key. And I think with those three minds together, they're going to figure a way out of there. But we just have to wait and see. But just keep those three in mind. It was Jim and Jade. Remember they was making that tower? Now, Elgin is in the midst. All right, you guys. So, that's my take on episodes 2 and 3. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know how you felt about those 2 episodes in the comment section. And I'll talk to you later.